We are going to talk about business credit. We're talking about the importance of business credit, why business credit is something you absolutely need to have, and some things that you probably don't even know business credit could do for your business that we're going to reveal. And you'll be able to use business credit as a powerful weapon, potentially the most powerful weapon to be able to secure optimal money and financing for your business. Look, there's a lot of benefits that business credit provides that a typical entrepreneur knows nothing about. As a matter of fact, statistically, Entrepreneur says that 90% of business owners know nothing about business credit. That's a really big deal because there are surveys out there, including one by NAB, that shows that you're 47% more likely to get approved for funding if you just know what business credit is. So just by understanding your business credit profiles, your business credit scores, knowing what they are, knowing how they work, gives you a tremendous amount of benefits that, quite honestly, most entrepreneurs know nothing about. Now, here's why this is cool for you. Because you have a way to jump past almost anybody in your industry and competitors. Keep in mind that out of 10 people in your industry, 9 of them know nothing about what we're about to talk about today, and you will be the one. So you're able to tap into this powerful asset, this powerful resource to help your business get money, even when you typically can't get other kind of financing, and to be able to get the best terms and approval amounts and the highest approval amounts on the money that you do get. So there's about 8 different points I want to talk about here as the importance of business credit, many of which you might not know about at all. Let's start with number 1. One of the most important reasons why business credit is important is it actually helps you separate personal and consumer credit. So if you follow Entrepreneur, Inc., Forbes, they all talk about the importance of this separation, right? You don't want to be liable for what happens in your business, for example. You don't want your finances commingled. You don't want all the things that could spill over from your business to you to spill over to you. So you've got to create the separation for a lot of different reasons. And business credit helps you do that. It's actually really the only legal way in the United States is you could have 2 credit profiles. You can have one as a consumer, your TransUnion, your Equifax, your Experian, and then you also have your commercial credit with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian, Commercial. So this actually gives you the ability to have your own credit, and your business has its own ability to have credit. Now, what this allows you to do is kind of borrow and access twice as much credit because you're able to get all these credit cards and funding that you normally get as an individual, and then you're able to get even more credit and funding as an actual business. But if it's merged, if you're not using your business credit and you're relying on personal credit to do all of this, well, then it's going to exponentially limit the amount of money you're able to access because you're trying to qualify for all of this business funding on the personal side, which you don't want to do. So you need to make sure that you build business credit to separate your consumer and commercial credit, to show lenders and credit issuers that your business has a history of paying its own bills. Because the more history your business has of paying its own bills, the less your credit is going to be needed for qualification. So if you're sick and tired of personal guarantees and lenders and credit issuers demanding to look at your personal credit to make lending decisions about your business, well, the first step is really to build business credit, is to create this separation between your consumer and commercial credit. And by the way, Mike South is coming in from St. Louis. Mike, I love it when you're here. Thanks for coming in. And George Foster is in the house as well from Facebook. Thanks for coming in and saying hello, George. If you're just coming in, give us a shout out. Tell us your name, even your company name, and I'll give you a shout out right here on the live stream. So the next reason that business credit has an important benefit is because it gives you better financing options. I like to say the business credit factors 3 different ways into the money that you're going to get. First of all, it determines if you get approved or denied. Think about it. Would a lender want to lend your business money if your business has 0 history of paying its bills on time? Maybe, but the loan amounts might be small. The credit cards and limits are going to be small. They're taking a risk. It's the same as when you started your consumer credit, right? Maybe you started with secured credit cards. Maybe you had a cosigner. Maybe you started with a very small credit limit credit card. But again, you're not going to come out and get mortgages and auto loans as an individual if you don't have consumer credit. It's the same thing for your business. If you're out there trying to get loans and SBA loans and credit lines and even high limit credit cards, you're not going to successfully do this unless you're using your personal credit to lead the charge or you have established business credit. So you need to establish business credit because business credit is oftentimes going to determine if you're going to get approved or denied financing. So having business credit helps you get a lot more approvals. The second reason that this is important to getting financing is that business credit determines how much money you're going to get. The business credit reporting agencies actually have a recommendation of credit section on the credit report where the bureaus are telling lenders how much money to actually lend you. So if you want to get higher approvals, you need to add more accounts to your business credit reports. That increases this recommendation of credit and helps you get higher limits on credit cards, lines, and higher loan amounts on loans as well. And 3, it factors into the term that you are going to get. Okay, look, the most recent loan that we've obtained as a company was for $500,000 and our payment was $2,400 a month. Yeah, 100% accurate. 4% rate, we got it through SBA. But here's the thing, you're not going to get that kind of financing without having established business credit. Instead, you're going to be dealing with high-risk merchant cash advances, for example, that have very short terms and very high interest rates. That's the exact opposite of what we want. What we want is long terms and low rates. That's what helps us borrow a heck of a lot of money and keep our payments very, very low. So you need to have established business credit because business credit determines how much money you're going to get. It determines also if you'll get approved or denied, but it also determines the rates and terms you're going to pay. So you need to have the longest term, the lowest rate, the highest approval amount, more approvals. Business credit is the key to all of those, which is why business credit is so important. Now that brings me to point number 3. Business credit is also important because it's your credibility. Look, your business credit reports are publicly accessible to anybody that wants them. I was once on a podcast, and the guest that I was interviewing, actually the person I was being interviewed by, I should say, I'm so used to hosting guests on the Business Credit Financing Show, actually asked me about it. I said, look, anybody can see your business credit reports. I said, do you want me to pull your business credit report right now? And she was a little freaked out. She goes, no, but let's stay after and do it. She didn't want us to do a live business credit report review on the podcast. She was ultimately shocked in the interview that I even had the ability to do it. So the interview wrapped up and I pulled her business credit report and we went through it together. And she said, can you pull my competitor's business credit report? I said, sure can. And we pulled her competitor. And all of a sudden, as we started going through it, she noticed that her competitor was recently having financial troubles where they were falling behind on terms. And in that moment, she made the determination to reach out to that competitor for an opportunity to potentially acquire them. How crazy is that? I'm just doing an interview and it ends up with her making a move to actually acquire another business because she was able to see what was going on in their business credit report, feel a sense of desperation, and know that it was the right time to actually make a move that she wanted to make for quite a long time. Your business credit reports are publicly accessible. Investors actually get these. As a matter of fact, I was just at a conference last week called DealCon where I sat on stage and was telling people, business owners that are looking to acquire businesses to use business credit reports to make the decision of whether they should acquire the business or not. Teaching them how to use business credit reports to determine if that's a company they want to buy. This is happening behind the scenes all the time. Lenders are looking at your reports. Credit issuers are looking at your reports. Potential investors are looking at your reports, but it gets worse than that. Prospects, potential clients of your company, potential partners of your company, they're all able to look at your business credit reports. So this means that your business credit is ultimately your reputation. Okay, it's your credibility. So if you want to be more credible in the world, not just with lenders and credit issuers, but insurance companies, potential investors, prospects, clients, then you need to build your business credit because what people see there is easily accessible to them. And you want to make sure that you control what they see by always working to build out your business credit. So make sure that you are working on building business credit because it just gives you an overall boost to your business credibility. Next. Business credit helps with cash flow. Look, here's the problem. So many business owners are using cash, using debit cards, using money out of their bank account to pay expenses they shouldn't be. What you should be doing is wisely using credit and conserving as much cash as you can. Let me give you an example. Okay, if I'm able to use a credit card for a purchase, and then I don't accrue interest on that credit card for 30 days, well, then I can basically go and get that money for free at no interest charge for the course of 30 days. So I'm able to take my credit, use my credit to make purchases, pay it off before interest even accrues, and basically I'm floating that purchase for the course of 30 days. Now, this gives me 30 days to use that cash flow for other things that help the business grow even faster. Look, the people that grow the biggest in the public and privately owned space, right, on the NASDAQ, for example, or privately owned businesses, the largest companies in this country are all using business credit to get as big as they are because they're masters of this. They're leveraging business credit to buy as many things as they can buy and then paying it off in large part before interest accrues, then using that cash that they save, not having to pay those things out of their bank account for 30 days to actually then go in and make other moves. This is the reason that 80% of what Walmart buys to put on on their shelves, they're using business credit to buy. They're using business credit to buy, floating that money and saving their cash and using that to open up more locations. This helped them expand even faster, the same as it can help you as well. And by the way, DJ Ricky is in the house from Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. Now, another benefit, an important reason you want to have business credit built is because it prepares you for growth. Okay, it actually gets you the ability to go out and get the larger loans, the larger credit lines. So again, I was just saying earlier that the last loan we got was $500,000 loan. We're able to get these kind of loans from SBA in about 3 weeks or less because we have well-established business credit. So look, when you're launching a business, you're not going to qualify for long-term, low-rate SBA type financing. But you're never going to be able to qualify if you don't build business credit. Business credit's a requirement to get almost all kinds of SBA loans because SBA is looking at a FICO small business score. And the FICO small business score weights business credit history heavier than consumer credit history. So this means that you can't even have a FICO SBSS score that's high enough to get an SBA loan if you've never built business credit. And the worst thing you want to do is wait until you need that money to figure this out because business credit building is a process. So you want to make sure you start the process as early as you possibly can. Look, we teamed up with Dun & Bradstreet. We do a lot to help their clients get educated on business credit. I'm literally just now, before I came in here, filming videos on these topics for Dun & Bradstreet to be able to use on their social channels. And this is one of the questions they wanted me to cover is, hey, why do I need to get a DUNS number if I'm not ready to use it yet? Well, the answer that I did in the video, and I'll tell you right now as a sneak peek, is because business credit building is a process. It takes time. You don't want to wait until you need it to actually start working on it. You should get your DUNS number the minute you set up your business. You should start working on business credit from the early days of your business. Not only will it give you the money you need to actually grow, but it also prepares you for growth. The more you build out that business credit profile and score, the easier it is to get the credit lines and the loans you want, the ones with long terms and low interest, where you're able to get really high approval amounts with very, very, very low payments. That is the key to growth. Most businesses fail because they can't acquire the money that they need. You don't want to be one of those statistics. You want to set yourself up for success by making sure that you start building business credit early into the inception of your business, and this will prepare you to get the best kind of financing as your business continues to grow. And Credit One is in the house from Atlanta. Thank you very much for coming in and saying hello. Next benefit of business credit that you might not know about is that it protects you personally. It protects your personal finances. Look, so many entrepreneurs say to me, I don't want to provide a personal guarantee. But let's think about what personal guarantees are. Personal guarantees are required when a lender wants to lend you money and you want that money, but then they don't feel comfortable with your business itself, so they have to have you as a signer come in to actually back the business. That's what's happening. A guarantee is required because your business cannot stand on its own. So because your business can't stand on its own, the lender is requiring that you be a signer to guarantee the debt in case of default. Now, if you don't want this to happen, then you have to build the capability for your business to stand on its own. So if I pull your business credit report, I see 27 different accounts on there, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, $150,000 limit, lines, loans, credit cards on your business credit report, all paid as agreed. You have high scores. You have scores that reflect that you're very low risk. This is the type of business that lenders want to lend to. This is what's going to get you the most amount of money. This is what is also going to protect your personal assets, because now lenders are able to look at that credit report and say, we don't need you as a signer. We don't need you as a guarantor because your business can stand on its own. Your business has this vast history of paying bills responsibly. So we're so comfortable with your business credit history that we don't even care about your personal credit history. Look, it's what happens to every one of the largest publicly and privately owned companies in this country. They didn't get that way where they're borrowing money without the owner signing as a guarantee, as a guarantor, just because they're big. It's because if you look at their business credit reports, they have hundreds of accounts on there showing history of millions, tens of millions, sometimes even hundreds of millions of dollars that they paid back responsibly. This is what opens the door for them to get credit financing the exact same as you can too. So make sure you build business credit to separate personal and business credit and to protect your personal finances to help you get away from personal guarantees when you absolutely don't have to have them. And next benefit, that business credit provides you is that it opens the door for new opportunities for you. Look, a lot of large companies, even government contracts, are looking at things like if you have a DUNS number and if you have business credit established. So one of my favorite clients, Christine, she's one of my favorites because when I first started the live stream, it was on Periscope. Look, I'm aging myself here. Periscope was the very first original live stream. And Christine was one of the first people that ever come out and followed me. And I got to see her go from having a failing attempts to build business credit to securing over $1 million of business credit. But here's what's interesting. When I interviewed and she gave us a video testimonial, one of the things she said is something I never really touched upon most. She had a trucking business, and when she built out her business credit, she started getting approved for a lot more contracts. You see, what was happening, she was bidding on these contracts, and the people she was bidding with were checking business credit profiles because they only wanted to issue those contracts to really well-established businesses. Well, she built out her business credit. They started to recognize that she was a very well-established business, and all these contracts that she bid on in the past that she never got, she started to be able to secure. Now, last time I talked to Christine, she was going from a 1-truck operation looking to buy a 50-truck operation. So it goes to show how rapidly your business can expand if you look good in the eyes of others. It opens up the doors for these new opportunities, whether it be government contracts or others that are making decisions about you based on business credit quality, including suppliers. Now, in Christine's case, they actually have another company that kind of deals with in the construction industry, and they were able to get $300,000 credit lines at individual stores in their local community based on business credit quality. So imagine going from using cash to do all their projects to getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit lines they can use instead. It was the key ingredient to explode the growth in that business, the same as it can be for you. So business credit, by having it established, it opens up the door for all of these new opportunities that you're just not able to get if you don't have business credit established. And that brings me to preparing for emergencies. Look, businesses go out of business. The majority of them fail. We know this. The majority of businesses fail because they have issues with cash flow. We know this as well. Businesses fail because basically they're not able to properly manage cash flow. But here's what really happens. What really happens is a business might be going just fine and then something unexpected happened. COVID, the mortgage crisis, maybe something minimal. They lose a main salesperson. They lose a main customer. Well, when these things happen, all of a sudden the business is in turmoil. Well, business credit gives you the ability to float through these times where you don't have to have an emergent situation where you use all of your cash and don't have any left. So I'll give you an example. When COVID hit, nobody knew what to expect, right? We started to see everybody shut down. We freaked out as a company, but we had a plan for this. And the plan was to stop spending any money out of our bank account and move all spending to credit lines and business credit accounts. And that's what we did. The first 2 months of COVID, all we did was stockpile cash and then use our credit to pay all of our bills. Did we accrue interest? Yeah, we did. But it gave us the peace of mind that we needed to make sure we were going to be okay. A couple months in, we realized, hey, this is actually not going to be too bad. We paid off that credit, and it got us through this time that we didn't know. It was this time of uncertainty. Air conditioning units go out, losing a key customer, losing a key team member, having your computers go down. I mean, there's any number of emergencies that can happen at any given time. And by having business credit established, you're able to use that business credit to pay those bills instead of using your cash, conserve cash, and go through those turbulent, unexpected times. But if you're just sitting there, paycheck to paycheck for your business, you don't have very much margins, you don't have very much cash on hand, which a lot of businesses are in that scenario, and then you don't have credit established, any kind of unexpected emergency can literally put you out of business, as it does for so many others that are out there. So the easiest way around it is stock up on revolving credit. Stock up on credit lines. Stock up on business credit. You're only paying interest when you actually use that revolving credit. If you're not using it, you don't have to pay interest, so it doesn't really cost you anything to be able to get, but it is a lifesaver in those emergent, unexpected times to be able to carry you through where you don't have to use cash. So there's my 8 favorite benefits that business credit provides. Let's do a quick recap. Benefit number 1, you're separating consumer and commercial credit, right? So you actually have a credit profile for your business that shows your business's ability to pay its bills, the same as you do with a consumer credit history that shows you and you're as a consumer and your ability to pay your bills. Next, you get better financing options. Business credit helps us get more approvals, higher approval amounts and better terms. We can get more money because we can get longer term to pay it back and lower interest rates. This is the key to getting SBA loans and term loans instead of getting high interest rate short-term merchant cash advances. Next, business gives you credibility. Business credit gives you credibility because it's publicly accessible. Anybody that wants to see your business credit reports can see your business credit reports. So by establishing your business credit profiles and scores, you're more credible lenders, creditors, insurers, insurance providers, prospects, clients, even potential investors into your company. Next, business credit helps with cash flow. Instead of using your own personal credit or using funds from your business to pay all your bills, you can use your business credit to pay those bills instead, and then give yourself oftentimes weeks before interest accrues where you have more money in your bank that you can use for other reasons to help you grow even faster, and then you can pay that credit off oftentimes before interest even accrues, and it doesn't even cost you anything to do this. So it gives you a ton of credibility. It also helps exponentially with your cash flow, and it prepares you for growth. Having a well-established business credit profile and score is the key to getting high limit credit lines, to getting high limit loans. So if you want to get the most money at the best terms, then you need to make sure you build business credit, and you need to start it now. So when you go to get higher loan amounts and higher limits on credit lines, then you're able to get approved. Next, you need to make sure that you're protecting your personal finances. Look, your business credit being separated from your consumer credit means you can get away from personal guarantees in a lot of cases with a lot of type of credit that's out there. If you don't have business credit established, they're going to constantly rely on personal guarantees from you. This means you are personally liable for your business debts, not something you want to have happen. So make sure that you come in and separate consumer and commercial credit, because this is what protects your personal finances and personal assets, because you don't have to continue to personally guarantee all the debts for your business. And it also opens up new opportunities. Government contracts, people that are making decisions of issuing contracts based on the credibility of your business. They're looking at your business credit reports and scores. And just by having more established business credit, you have a better chance of bidding on a lot of different government contracts and even outside government contracts as well. And it prepares you for emergencies. This is what puts businesses out of business. Don't fall into the trap. By having revolving credit available, you can navigate unexpected times, emergent times, just fine. But if you don't have money available and you're not taking a lot of margins with money in the bank, then this one thing can put you out of business, one unexpected thing. And let's be honest, as an entrepreneur for decades now, I can tell you that we live in the world of uncertainty. We live in a world of unexpected things happening. Don't fall into that trap. Make sure that you are prepared for emergencies, and you can make sure that you're prepared for emergencies by having business credit established. So there you have it. If you're interested in building your business credit, make sure you grab our guide. It's been downloaded over 1 million times. This is like the Bible on business credit building. You can grab that at creditsuite.com/EIN. That's creditsuite.com/EIN. Hey, did you get value from this training? If so, make sure you like and subscribe and keep your eye out for our next training. We talk about more cool ways